Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of WCA 2015. It's the European qualifiers where, you know what, for a qualifier, you think, you know what, there's just a couple of games to get played. There's not much that goes on, like a couple of lower-ranked teams. No. WCA, $75,000 up for grabs. This will be split. It'll be split between the teams, so there is a little bit to play for, even if you get second or third position. But you want to get up into the big money, as well as the ability to qualify for the LAN finals, which has an even larger prize pool. I think roughly around $350,000, but don't quote me on that. I think it could change over time. Either way, WCA, they're going big, and they're not going home. Let's get ourselves into the game underway already. Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Team Empire is what we are doing. If you're not 100% certain where we're up to, we can check this out. So what we're doing right now is VP and Monkey Business, Ninjas in Pyjamas, Team Empire. So we already had VP go 2-0 in the game early today. The winner of this will play up against Virtus Pro. And then our bottom games kick in tomorrow. Vega Squadron versus the Alliance. And then Team Secret in their first official game since TI with their new roster versus Na'Vi. Good luck, Na'Vi, and good luck, Team Secret, with their new roster. Let's go back into our draft, though, because that's what you guys want to see unfold before your very eyes. Also, congratulations to me for now actually turning the in-game sound on.
5 seconds remaining.
All right, so Ninjas in Pyjamas. Antimaga is back in the game again. It is all about Antimaga. A safe lane farmer, get all the farm in the world, make everyone fear to pick up a Storm Spirit. They're going to start removing these heroes to take care of mana illusions quickly, which is why the SF is removed, his burst damage, and his ability to keep up with the farm of Anti-Mage is also what's up for grabs. So they remove him out. You may still just remove the Storm Spirit so the Anti-Mage doesn't have this Orchid jumping on him all the time.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so there's just the Darkseer and the Wyvern that cause problems. The other issue you could be looking at is what is the control later on. Like, there's already Curse available for the Winter Wyvern. What comes after that point? It's, like, do you try and go for a Spirit Breaker? That's actually where my mind always turns to with this Darkseer pickup, because Darkseer works so well with Spirit Breaker. Primarily because he doesn't have to do anything apart from putting Iron Shell on the Spirit Breaker, and the burn damage, and then the potential for 17% just takes you all the way through. So Winter Wyvern is a good saving grace. He's a great combo with the Darkseer. They just go for the two of them together. Bloodseeker also removed, another issue hero for Anti-Mage. They're just trying to make sure that NIP have all the space. And also, NIP now have their real names on, as well as Team Empire. Everything is better the way it's meant to be. We were told it was a reborn bug in the last game. The players were asked to change their names up so everything would be a lot nicer, and we could understand who the hell everyone was. In the last game, though, I did actually get a list for it. So it was Unison Farm was the Earthshaker. So it was his fantastic play that took them through. So Chili was Seal Kid, Shoreto was Era, and then Hansken.
5 seconds
Hansken was, I don't even want to try and pronounce it, but we'll just say Teg.
Reserve time.
He had Teg at the start of his name. All right, so Tusker also being banned out now, as well as Clockworks. They're looking towards the off lane now of Ninjas in Pyjamas. But at the same time, NIP could just run the Spirit Breaker themselves if they wanted to. So you ban out the Clockwork, you ban out the Tusker. There's nothing wrong with grabbing SB yourself. Like, he'll tank up most of what Wyvern and Darkseer throw at you. Where do they want to go? You'd want to look towards your mid-heroes, but the options are starting to get a little bit more limited for who could actually outlane the Lina. Because you got Queen of Pain still available.
Vengeful spirit.
Wait, what, really?
Dire team pick.
I haven't seen a VS game in so long. Like, beyond so long. Doesn't even couple perfectly with the Darkseer. Like, VS is looking back in the history to the point where you look back at the aura strats, but you're not looking at the combo aura here. Like, maybe you could... Like, VS was picked up to try and
10
counter out
seconds
against these big
remaining.
ultimate heroes. Like heroes like Enigma, for example, who build Blink and
5
BKB,
seconds
and then
remaining.
VS just swaps them out, and they're like, crap. Can't do anything.
Reserve time.
And then you had the aura part of the strat. So it was the multiple portions of negative armor. So you had the Wave of Terror, which removed everything. It was also used for stacking back in the past. Then people kind of needed a little bit more like setup for the stuns, because then VS, like magic missiles, were too easy to dodge when Storm Spirit started arriving and things like that. Rubik's now going to come up for NIP, so that's cool. The other combo was the one with Dro Ranger, where you ran like the Dro, the VS, as well as the
Dire team pick.
you didn't get away with the Loon. Like, I'm not talking. Actually, ha. There it is. There's the other aura I was trying to think of. It's the Luna. The Luna with the VS. You could force down the buildings. The Dragon Knight would help with that. The Darkseer will definitely help with that. And you can just force the issue. I'm fairly certain if I'm able to put that one-on-one together, I'm fairly certain Hanskin's done the same kind of thing with the VS. Just be really, really cautious about the auras. The Gyro is still in the pool as well, something else to flag, that it hasn't been banned out. So Team Empire won't be limited if the Luna is picked. And Ninjas in Pyjamas could also think maybe they'll be fine up against Luna. But Luna actually farms faster than an anti-mage. All you need to be able to do is basically put 4 points up into Glaives. So you only leave 1 pointer up in the Luna Blessing. You go 4 points up into Glaives and have your friend stack for you. So we said before, VS is really good at stacking because of the way Wave of Terror works. As long as that still works in Reborn, because aggro has been really screwed up in Reborn. So if that is capable of working, then stack up the camps. Luna comes over, mass flash farm. Darkseer should be able to get towards a mech, is your hope. As long as the Rubik and +1 doesn't keep him out too far. As in, like, away from all forms of experience. Actually, that's a really nice counter pick as well. Yeah, and then you just push with mech, Luna up. Get the BKBs on the DK as well as the Luna, as early as you possibly can. And just keep going. Almost one of those games where you could just get the casual Yasha on the Luna.
5 seconds.
But you get one of them to get drums. SMY, nice options if you're trying to force issues a little bit earlier too. The Ancient Apparition kind of screws it with this a lot. Because Winter Wyvern's heal now is no longer it's no longer easy. The DK as well loses a large portion of his ability during the fight, because he doesn't have that regeneration. He'll still have the armor from the Dragon Blood, but he won't have the regeneration to go with it. So that's the downside there. And they should ban the Legion Commander. I was really worried. Well,
10 seconds
the lockdown is already there for NIP. Like, they got Rubik, Lena, and like, even that is sort of enough. But they're still looking towards the offlaner. Like, they've gone through every offlaner apart from Spirit Breaker, which I still find hilarious. But the VS is a nice counter to the Spirit Breaker. Swaps or stuns out. You can even make it so Spirit Breaker dives way too deep. And they ban the Lycan. So NIP is still thinking about the push, but they thought it would come on the back of the Lycan. And that is another combination. The Lycan and the VS together, with the Command Aura, as well as having Howl, that's global damage increase too. The Luna, for me, just makes it a little bit better for the full 5-man fight. Having Eclipse, Anti-Mage isn't that great against it if Luna does have the high points up in Glaives, because you get through the illusions pretty quickly. So then you can just turn on the Eclipse and you go to town. So that's not as much of a problem. The only thing I'd be worried about if I was Team Empire is if Ninjas in Pyjamas actually go aggro tri-lane here. Because they can get away with it. The Anti-Mage just gets 1 point up in the mana burn early on. It will actually be the Luna. For all those people that say 3K analysis, yeah! Sorry, I just had to do that at least once. But you can actually go 1 point up in the Anti-Mage and burn off a lot of the Darkseer's early mana, so he can't harass you down anymore. You'll need to bring a couple of consumables because you'll be taking Iron Shells at the start. But then Ancient Apparition is one of the greatest enablers for an aggro tri-lane. Rubik, not so much, because obviously issues. But if you go into something like Juggernaut, would actually be a really nice pickup here. I know it's a little bit too heavy on the edge. You carry, you don't have any real strength behind yourself. but you can spin out from the VS stun.
Reserve time.
The Wyvern control factor doesn't really do as much either. And you use your Ancient Apparition and Rubik with Chilling Touch bonuses and Telekinesis to get kills on these supports. And that's where NIP can find a lot of power. A lot of power.
10 seconds remaining.
So we'll see what NIP decide. They've got 6 seconds to go for.
5
So,
seconds
Hanskin,
remaining.
is it going to be defensive or is it going to be aggressive? Who's your off-laner?
Horn of Magnus.
The Horn of Magnus has arrived. Early a buff up for the Anti-Mage. In fact, that's actually really good for the Anti-Mage. He's going to absolutely love this one. As now, let's head ourselves into the game. And what do we got? So,
Prepare for battle.
okay, so it's going to be pretty standard lanes. Unison farm with early consumables as well as that enchanted mango. Era will be the anti-mage, and you will see Magnus head towards that off lane. He's got Stout Shield and a crap ton of regeneration. He's expecting harassment from the Wyvern, as well as, in a way, the Vengeful Spirit. VS, maybe not so much, primarily just because VS won't really hurt the Magnus as much. Not unless they get close enough for their auras to start stacking. So just protect the runes for now. NIP would love someone to come up for this top rune. They would just try and kill him off straight away. This Darkseer, not pulled a lot, but he is definitely working into the big item, and that's just Soul Ring. Just, may not seem like much, but wait, what?
30
Okay,
seconds to
you're
battle.
given something from Wyvern, hence now the double ups. Oh wow, no, 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 Empire, this is not Gucci. Not only is it First Blood, it's First Blood to a bloody anti-mage. You have fed the man that chews on coins. They will take top rune. The Darkseer as well. Now, he spent so much money anyways. He's not losing too much out there.
The battle
But
begins.
he's going to block this wave up the entire way.
Money to burn.
I'm actually waiting for Seal Kid to do the same thing. They do so much damage. They started with Chilling Touch. Take away all of the life. And DK also going to miss his block. So Limp already has a slight positional advantage. You'll see a switching of aggro now as Rain. Yeah, he just attacks into Limp. There is a dire Observer Ward. It's actually something... that would have been a complete disaster. Hanskin's here, and he has boots, so he would have been able to kill. He would have been able to kill this courier off. But this Observer Ward will see the fact the bottle is now being delivered. So if the courier goes back the same way, he can still snipe the courier. In fact, nope, the courier does a little bit of a 180 and turns around. So very smart from Empire. They know that this Rubik is missing. The Observer Ward here helps them to know this. That's why the Darkseer is being a little bit more aggressive against the Ancient Apparition. But now Rubik comes in just to say hello to Rain too. And
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Okay, so rune control just became 10 times as important. The courier's already coming out for NIP. On the bright side, the courier's only dead for another 2 minutes. So when it comes back up, it'll be a flying courier. Darkseer's on the run, but this Observer Ward's watching for it. Hanskin, his walk up won't really achieve much, and the fact that he isn't also walking up, he could have walked up to combine with the Ancient Apparition, but he understood the fact that Era is in no position to fight. Era's just looking for CS and nothing but CS, and now, okay, now they've got the chance. They blink forward, that surge, even at level 1 is enough to get past Hanskin. And they should flag the fact there is a ward there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But then that asks the other question, where are all your sentries? There's not, the only sentries on the map are the ones in the hands of the Wyvern. Or coming down to secure that bottom room for the DK. They needed that too. A double damage rune, not just the bounty rune, but actually having some level of action rune. The less the DK fight in this lane. Because right now he's at 50% the CS of Limp. And with that courier dead, he just couldn't bottle Fairy. So the pulling gets to begin. Ancient Apparition and Rubik. They're not funding levels nice and quick. That's one thing the Radiant supports have managed to do, apart from, like, Like, Wyvern and VS have been hugging the lanes pretty closely. Does mean the Lunar is a little bit lower. And I really want to see Silence build here. Like where he goes with this Unison farm. He's in no real peril. Even the Magic Missile will follow him when he skewers, but the reposition time is going to be more than enough that they can't really do much about him. How's this mid lane looking as far as levels go? So Limp is going to be about half a level in front. Primary reason why I'm looking at this is because I'm looking for Lena's level 6. The DK isn't as much of an importance. Because like, he is level 6 and we all go, okay. Like, until Lena leaves that lane, he's not going to be forcing any kind of pressure into the tower. Unison Farm spending a long time here in the mid. He can't be looking for the courier. I think he's looking to skewer back, so then the Lena can finish the job. Okay, Unison Farm then realizes he's visible. The courier snipe is not going to happen as well. Hanskin gives it another crack. Unison Farm just goes to the tree line. At least making it so the DK can't go over and flash farm these stacks. I say these stacks, there's only one stack right now. And they come in behind the Darkseer. All 5 heroes from NIP have converged on top lane. This Darkseer is toast. And the tower to follow it. They burn the mana, the Light Strike Array connects properly. And no one from Empire can stop that. They cannot save him. Hilarious thing is, Rain is still so low. Like, there's no runes for him to grab, so this full bottle charge will just be used to bring him back to full life and mana. And even then, it looks like it won't be enough. Top tower doesn't fall, however. NIP, their tower push potential is so arse. But having support rotate up now, that's what they're hoping for. And maybe that's what NIP were trying to predict. Like, assuming the Team Empire would have rotated more players up there to try and gank on the anti-mage, like bring in the VS. Even though the VS is not really a great rotator to kill off the AM. Because AM's able to just blink away from the stun. Limp could have finished with Laguna Blade. How's that vision looking on the high? Yeah, doesn't exist. It's just this Observer Ward. And unfortunately for him, this tree line cuts the path. This new one's a little bit further up, so actually we actually draw a new path a little bit closer towards the tower. Hanskin, pick up, throw it back, Light Strike Array, Laguna with a shockwave, and boom! Drops that mallet right on top of the head of the Darkseer. Purple blows everywhere. And the 6-minute runes are about to come up too. As DK looking full bottle. Limp, not so much. That courier is still on the way. And it's already expended a speed boost, so it's not going to get here in time for him to bottle up and then take the rune. Not unless Empire just leave one of the runes unattended. Nymph is up on top, Bounty on bottom. But Limp's fine with this. He's just able to hold this creep wave back anyway. So that's the reason why DK is not popping his Dragon Form, even though he has cracked level 6. Unison Farm, not as impactful as last game just yet. But at the same time, it's a very similar situation where he has to play very defensive, and he knows in return, he's getting a lot. Like, it's not the levels. The shockwave is only there so he can slow down the push. VS really wants to get this stun, but even then, the DK needs to get his stun off to make this work. And, well, they're going to. Unison Farm, skewer time, not enough time. Not with the Elusive Beam as well kicking in, so they had an extra mini-stun arriving from Silent. And Limp's out of mana, he can't force this lane out. He does have an Invis rune so we can be this far up. But NIP will accept the fact they lose this tier 1 tower. I think they probably accepted this fact too when they saw the draft. Having the Luna plus the DK and the VS early on, like the increase in damage isn't really that much. Like you're plus 40 on a Luna, plus 28 and plus 30. It's decent, don't get me wrong. They're gonna keep pushing. Man, what is this? Like 2013? This isn't right. They're inflicting enough damage to try and drag people back, but they don't need to. Like, Anime takes the top tier 1 tower. If the tier 2 tower drops, the tier 2 tower drops. If they can keep their tier 1 up in the mid, that's probably more important to NIP. Because it allows them to keep contesting the fights around the mid area as well as Roshan.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
At all other times, it's actually better for Unison Farm because the tower doesn't die. So he's got more space to get levels and farm. And even though Era is building into this Battle Fury, he's still going to have the upgrade like the buff up from the Empower. So they're still going to be there for him. Limp. Sentries are down. They can see him. And Rain backs up instantly. This sentry just saved DK's life. And now, because he's not dead, he gets to pick up the illusion rune and come help his teammates up on top. Era now needs help. They can't let this happen. The Ancient Apparition is in level 6, and actually they're gonna let it happen. Era moves over to farm, and this Ancient Apparition heads to bottom lane. They could try and go for the trade, like Hanskin as well as Limp can move down here, where they go for the pickup on Silent. He has a TP scroll, and probably wants to bail the hell out of here ASAP. He'd also go for the 2 points up at Lunar Blessing. In this game, it made more sense because they're playing more of an aura strat. But now it's Silent's turn to get the hell out of here. They're not attacking in yet. The illusions will also scout out from DK. The fact that no one's in the Dire jungle, and that's why Luna's being a little bit more like dodging. Always gonna fly. Yeah, they're not in range of anything. And in fact, it's the middle lane where Era, yeah, just blink away. No observer was seeing this, but what's he managed to pick up? It's the Claymore. So he's finding the damage items now for his mana style.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And he already has that casual ring of regen. This will go into the Vladimir's offering later on. Really good for the team overall, but more importantly, it means when he comes into the fights, he's at 100% life, because he doesn't have to lose anything when he's farming up inside the jungle.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And IP, they'll lose this tier 1 tower. At this rate, they'll also lose the tier 2 tower. They have to come back, but there's no TP on Unison Farm. They need this tower kill to actually get them the money. Era doesn't have a TP, Limp does, and Rubik does. But the first TP comes up from Sealkid, and this is wise. He wants the TP to the top, so now he cracks level 6. So the Ice Blast is flying in towards the mid, and Empire already backing up. And I think they pinged that out. They said, you know what, guys? Like, he's up here for a reason. He's up here to hit level 6. But while all this still goes on, Era gets more and more money.
Bottom tower is under attack.
We're 10 minutes in. The Battle Fury timing's not too shabby. If he dies, however, it's going to be a lot shabbier. Battles into Silent, burns off a little bit of the mana. This will take away the mana for almost, not really the Eclipse, but something going for another Lucent Beam plus the Eclipse, and that would have been enough to potentially kill off Era if they could get the curse out from the Wyvern. And the curse from the Wyvern, obviously, only for control purposes. Alright, so now does Empire force the issue more? That's the question in the back of my mind. Like, Ancient Apparition's having a great time up on top. He knows when people are coming for him because of this Dire Observer Ward. And they understand the Darkseer is still up here and fallen back a little bit. The Team Empire have a great lineup for a team fight. The only thing they're really missing right now is a mech. An Arrow, stun, they'll connect, they'll have to curse as well. With the magic missile stun, it wasn't going to be enough. So the curse control does its work. NIP were a little bit too far away. They're trying a smoke gank of their own. So now they can use Limp as bait. Moving forward, the DK form is still up. But you'd end up skewering into an RP, and that's when Limp would follow up with the Light Strike Array and Slave. And you get your Feybolt out from Rubik, and Shockwave from the Magnus. That'll kill off the 2 supports at least. But they're not feeling the magic here, NIP. Team Empire just playing this push game too well. Now Hanskin comes in. Can he get the pickup? He can. He's dragging back the DK with the Laguna Blade. They get the kill already. Now the Skewer comes in. RP grabs out the 2. Light Strike Array is going to connect as well. The Eclipse, though, Limp needs some distance. Hanskin comes in to try and tank it for the team. The AOD already did the work, and Silent dropping down with a Mana Void. He should actually shatter right now. The Rubik will be the man to take the kill. But what a play from NIP. They buy the space. Limp is able to survive. He spent his money before dead, so he wouldn't have lost much anyway. But even on his low life, he's got mana. He can farm up this bottom lane and finish up his Yule Scepter. But what a great play for NIP. They still managed to grab 2 people inside that RP. And the enemy mage getting involved. So early on, you're still going to respawn up nice and quick. When you go fishing and your bait survives, but you still get the fish. Now the Ancient Apparition still has all the space up on the top lane. Looks like we're looking at a Hand of Midas build coming in from Sealkid. Just really boosts up the levels more than anything else. Like, the gold is great. It'll help you get in towards your Aghanim Scepter. But you want to try and get to that level 3 Ice Blast as soon as you possibly can. And that's where the Hand of Midas makes it possible. How's the animation looking in? Power buff up. So he's already able to really burst farm up. And with 2 more creeps, in fact, if he just takes the Ancient stack, he'll have enough for his Battle Fury. But he's walking in close, and now the smoke's going to break. And he blinks over. Always when a fly goes to the Wave of Terror, Rain will blink up and they smoke themselves. Era the only one not caught inside that smoke. And he doesn't want to be. He's happy to bail out. He wants to keep farming. Move as far away from the Empire gank as possible. And that was a big gank for Empire to pull off too, because it had the first time that they wanted to use this Blink Dagger of DK. In fact, NIP may even get a counter gank. Silent moves up to the trees, Seal Kid. There's that TP out. They'll see him too late. Actually, that's if they saw him at all. Don't know if Seal Kid got around the tree line in time. Nice TP out from Hanskin, right into the nose of Team Empire. Limp already with the Eul Scepter and Null Talisman. Interested to see what choice of he goes next. Like, if he feels Disable's important, or if just going into the Aghanim Scepter is still logical. The Ag still makes a lot of sense. Because there's the 2 big heroes that could go for the BKB. The only reason why I'm even putting the question up there, it's just because you could go for, I think it was even a more early game item than this. Like, the Blink Dagger would be the only other option I'll be tossing up, because they won't have BKBs up in time. Now Empire, okay, whoa. They're going to try and force this. Limp needs a little bit more space. He does have that Eul Scepter available, and they've come in a long way here, NIP. So they're pushing the tier 3 tower. Era is taking this tier 2 tower. And with the Fade Bolt, a lot of the damage being removed, they drag always want to fly back up. The Vengeful Spirit, not really where he wants to be, and actually steals Magic Missile as well. Always want to fly, has to stand in the tower. They will get the pickup on the Vengeful Spirit. Magnus might have to skewer himself away to safety, which he will do so. It's Lacuna Blade into Silent. The tower attack damage is too much. Luckily for Silent, that Ice Blast is too far vertical. So he's able to get away, and the TP comes back from the DK. So it's a hero kill for NIP. They burn a little bit to get it. But now Era's going to try and find something else. It's a pretty decent mana pull on a Winter Wyvern. If Era had more than 1 point up in mana break, maybe he would consider that gank. But instead now, yeah, Vladimir's done, Battle Fury done. We're 15 minutes in. He's already dishing out some decent damage, and with the Empower buff up, it just increases even further. I like how 2 Magnus is prioritizing that. Like, Unison Farm realizes that all he needs to do, it's not about the skewer. It's really not about the skewer. Like, the skewer is already like a 750 distance. He can make use of that. What it's about for him is getting the Blink RP off, as well as buffing up the Anti-Mage and the Lina. Because Lina also gets the damage increase, and with Fiery Soul plus Empower buff up, the damage output from NIP, the physical side of it, is really quite high. So then they just have to keep a little bit of magical left over for when this Cold Embrace kicks in. So they can pop whoever Wyvern tries to save. Right, so finally the Vlads does reach Era. He's got no camp to farm up, but every item he's got is being revealed by that Observer Ward. And it's an Observer Ward which NIP wouldn't really be expecting. Like, it's a standard position, but they might be expecting Empire to be a little bit more aggressive and throw one up here. Just because they've taken out they've taken out all the other towers apart from the tier 2 on top. So Empire, it's the SMY build on the Luna. Actually, is it? I know I mentioned Casual Yasha previously. Like, it could be the SMY. Goodbye, DK. Laguna Blade is up, and with Rubik around the corner, he actually steals Dragon Form. Okay, that's not too bad. It's only a level 1 Dragon Form, but it's still a Dragon Form nonetheless. That way you can feel and look like a boss, even if you're not a full boss. But what it does is just keep Empire's cores down. And this means this tier 1 tower is pretty easy for Era to take, blink away, and now he's building into the mana style. So the mana burn is going to get very, very real very, very quickly. Funny thing is though, he's going heavily, like with the +8s. Having that mana shield wouldn't be a bad thing in this game. That's where my brain is currently, just to bring you all up to speed. Because he hasn't put up any extra like resistance to the magic. And there's a decent amount of magical damage out there. And he's not going for mana burn either, so he's just really focusing on farm, and then he'll try and find an opening later on Lina. This is a good time to catch her out into the Shadow Blade, and Sentry wards are down, and they have to curse. Her Yule Scepter mate, no, that's fire anytime. This is actually Lina becoming a real pain in the ass. Because what she's able to do is remove one of these passes. So it's either going to be the Lunar Aura, or it's going to be it's not the VS, alright, she's not going to care about VS. It'll be the DK Dragonblood. And she only has to hit DK, that's if the Ancient Apparition hits with the Ice Blast. Who should be scouting out Roshan right now. Like, all of Team Empire have gone missing on the map. The line's been drawn by Luna, that they're worried that they're going to come in from behind, and that's why Darkseer is moving out already. But Magnus is on his way over. Here comes your Ice Blast. Hits on DK. They're going to go back in again. But Mag is rotating around, and this Observer Ward sees him coming. They'll Shockwave in to make life difficult. Roshan's very low, but they're not going to jump it. They let the Luna have the Aegis, the Immortal. It is going to be a BKB from the Luna.
Tower is under attack.
Is that that's the Dire Courier that got injured. Radiant Courier delivers the urn. Now, I don't think NIP are too concerned about this. Like, okay, Empire of the Aegis, Immortal, and Luna. That's okay. Until you get a BKB, NIP won't be as concerned. And right now, Silent's having trouble finding the space to get that BKB. Like, you can take out the Ancients right now, but you're still having to wait through a couple of minutes before you're going to find other camps available to farm. And it might be the reason why they're sending her to the top lane. Like, Darcy has got a decent amount. He's trying to get that Blink Dagger so they get that perfect combo with the Wyvern, who can either Glimmer Cape himself stealthily into the fight or not. They're Slimp with the Shadow Blade. Running forward, looking for the Yule Scepter. They have detection? Nope. They just feel the problem. So NIP using Error as bait. Just going to buff him and say, you know what, this isn't working. All of Team Empire must be up here. And they don't want to fight. Like, what they want is a pick off. If you fight right now, you're basically going to lose everything. So you just go for the picks instead. Can't get that. Go back to farming. Let's give us some farm waits. They do get a little bit of vision over on Silent, but and now the mass TPs come. They're coming out of bottom lane. They see Error again. But Error is moving back to pick up his ultimate orb. He's not looking to fight. In fact, he actually uses the Courier to do this. And it's the full Manta style, in fact. So now he doesn't have to blink to dodge the magic missile. The Manta style will do it for him. And it also means that there is a choice for the Winter Wyvern to make. And the choice is actually to throw out Splinter Blast before he goes for more Rain. Did he rune or not? They throw down the Sentry Wards. The Lucid Beam will make it difficult for Hanskin to escape. He saw Dragon Tail, so he can turn around and set up the Luna. But that's going to be all he gets. Unison Farm still ready to creep skip on the top. The Animator's still pushing at the bottom. You killed off a Rubik, that's not enough. They need more. They're actually rotating down to the bottom lane. So the creep wave comes in. DK just blinks in. He wants to go for this. He's sick of playing this cat and mouse game. They don't have a creep wave apart from the mid, but by bringing down that tower, now Silent can do his work. The Ice Blast going to connect on 4. Empire still holding their ground here. Era's going to take out the tier 2 tower, and Darkseer's around the corner, and he just cancels the TP. That's the big thing. Era's not part of this fight, but at the same time, Lim's already killed off the DK. The Eclipse will do the work, so Silent has to do the rest of it. Magnus will buy back into this game. He does not have RP available, probably already used it, and Silent controlled with the Shockwave. They need the vision. The gem was already purchased. Then again, whose hands is in? Limp's just running forward now. No Laguna Blade, but the damage output. They burned through the Aegis. Now there's no skewer, but Limp's going to get the Light Strike Array timing almost right. Always going to fly. Sacrifice himself for the greater good, but the greater good may not be that good. The Ice Blast's already going to come in. They skewer him away from it, in fact. That actually cancels the kill. That communication, please. Limp, Light Strike. Oh, he got it. Yule Scepter up, just buys the time. The cold feet's already there. Hunt's going to make sure Silent's not going to go anywhere apart from down. And this Winter Wyvern, he did buy the gem, but it's back inside of his stash. That's the reason why I didn't see it on a hero. So NIP, really good fight for them. What was the damage to the base at the end of the day? The range racks took a beating. The melee is regenerating. Top tier 3 tower, not that much. Mid tier 2, not that much. Bottom tier 3 tower, woo! That's much. An Era, all the confidence in the world. Strolling through like he owns the Radiant jungle. Sees the Winter Wyvern, but he's not interested in that. He wants to blink in, take out the tower. If there's fortification to be forced, he'll force it. But Empire decide not to for the tier 3. It was only a matter of time before Era would do that, and now he can actually make life a living hell by going in for the butterfly. There's no way this DK or Luna can afford a Monkey King bar. So by picking up the butterfly, not only is he increasing his own power, but it's adding that evasion to the mix, where the DK and the Luna just don't feel the magic anymore. Their burst damage has to come fairly heavily from magical. Rain, Light Strike Array. Oh, wow, Limp. This Shadow Blade does so much. He should actually still go into the Aghanim Scepter. Is he going to find another one? Yup. The back does kick in. The wall's down as well. And Magnus, he doesn't actually have Skewer available for another second, but a second is long enough. They couldn't find the right target. I haven't had the curse, but I don't know, I don't know if he didn't get in position or something. Either way. DK gets picked off. There's no collateral. And in fact, probably won't be long until Roshan's up again. And yeah, there's that butterfly coming in from Era. He knows how far ahead this is. He knows how not to throw said unthrowable game. They must be so far ahead in Golden. 8.5. I expected more. Like, the towers are very even. And they're 14-5. So again, NIP just, like, they have Empire's number. And they keep prank calling them at 3 AM in the morning, so they just cannot rest. They keep finding the openings on Team Empire. But Team Empire keeps giving them openings. They're coming out to farm. You can't blame Empire for farming because they need to. The problem is NIP are just always there with more numbers. And when you have a hero like a DK doesn't have a lot. But he's got 4 points up in Dragon Blood, but you completely negate that by popping him. And that Aghanims is now like, 3k. Yep.
That should help.
Aghanims is coming. The butterfly is now done for Era in 200 gold. A little bit of troll for Hanskin. He's only got Lose and Beam. That's not going to be enough. The Telekinesis Throwdown is enough to keep Silent back, and Hanskin stealing Search. But yeah, he is dead. He was on a warding mission. More than likely, intended target was up on this hillside. So the Rubik goes down, but the Animage is in a position soon. Like, Heart should be... Actually, even Heart, I don't know if it would be the final thing. Actually wondering what his final item will be. Like, the Vlance will be traded out for a Heart later on. There isn't a reason why he can't go for both. But he wants more survivability. Now Empire, okay. This feels a little all-in-ish. They're going for the range racks. The creep wave's not there. Now they're not fighting backdoor regen because the mid lane's close enough. But Rain's so low. They're going to swap him in for the RP. Still catching two. Can skewer up. Can't pick up any more, however. The Magnus will die as well as the Lina. But Anime just now arrived in the fight. They'll make a copy of him inside the wall and actually use that to kill off the Dire racks. The buyback comes in from the Lina. They need more kills, and Silent will be that kill. The million rack stays alive. That's what needs. Stop making copies of yourself. This is not the way you win Dota. Always on a fly note. Maybe that's the way you win it. Just kill off all of Team Empire. You don't care if it costs you money. You hold your racks. The buybacks did come thick and fast, though. Like, they committed 2 buybacks for that, but the DK bought back previously. So it kind of, well, actually they only committed, 1 buyback. It was the Lina. It was the DK and the Mag who bought back previously. So the DK completed his BKB before death. He knew he didn't have buybacks, so may as well spend the money. But Era comes in, now is 4-1-3. The Lina, even with her buybacks, is 7-2. And the Ancient Apparition, Mr. I Don't Need No Midas, had the Aghanim Scepter, has a Glimmer Cape, and has 4 kills and 6 assists. Involved in almost 50% of the kills of NIP. Normally you say for an Ancient Apparition, that's quite easy because you got Ice Blast, but it means he's actually connecting on the Ice Blasts. At 20,000 net worth for this Anti-Mage. 747 gold per minute. And with 1,600 left on the Anti-Mage still. Did he buy something else up? There's the Aghanim Scepter for Limp. No. He had the Butterfly, so yeah, not making too much money off that bottom fight. After, I say not too much, he still got 1,700 gold after finishing the full Butterfly. And that actually, that's where it went. It went to the 1,800 for the Null Talisman. Enough of that. Talisman of Evasion, a different type. So where's the team? Empire's not there, and Anti-Mage's like, wow, I probably could have done some damage to that tower. But instead, Era's just jumping through, taking out camps. Roshan's up now. Respawns, the Rubik Illusion, instantly scouts it out. And NIP are making their way over. Now, Era doesn't need this Aegis the Immortal. In fact, it'll probably be a hell of a lot better giving the bottle over to somebody and letting Limp take it. He seems to be a bit of a priority for Team Empire, and Limp finds himself in these drop positions because he is coming in with the Shadow Blade, trying to get the initiation. But who's going to take it? Ba-bump!
This fire will never go out.
And I'm feeling as on fire as Lina's hair in Arcana mode. Of course, some of these things are pretty obvious, though. But still, NIP. 2.8k gold now on this Anti-Mage. I really want to see his next item. Because he can go for control as well. He can go for Abyssal Blade. Or he can just say, you know what, I just survive. That's the critical moment. Now, Wyvern, they're going to find a lot more than they bargained for, but then again, that Wyvern and survive. They do get the back into a double wall, and Limp, this Aegis the Immortal, well, they're actually spending a little bit of time. Hanskin waiting in the tree line. He's got this Lucent Beam the Magic Missile available. That's where he can get the extra stuns off. Era comes in, but this game is over. Not only have NIP beaten Empire, they have slaughtered Empire. 2-0. They'll advance themselves forward now to play up against Virtus Pro in the next round. But what a game. What a showing from NIP. Their rotations were wonderful. I really want to go back and watch this replay just to see how they move from lane to lane, because that is where the beauty is. That's where so much of this beauty is. Like the result with the kills, there was wonderful Ancient Apparition, ultimate support, no deaths to his name. But the Darkseer never had any openings. Like the fact that Darkseer was able to complete up the Greaves was, for me, quite impressive. He actually managed to finish the Greaves. But the problem you then had was he had no initiation, there was no Blink Dagger, there was nothing like this. So the problem for Team Empire was just the fact that the DK was nothing. Like you took out early towers and that's where the extra money came in. But NIP kept finding pickoffs, so every time you want to try and take a fight, you weren't the one setting the terms of the fight. NIP did that through this entire series, and that's why they go through into the next round, which we have a quick double check. We can bring up our... Whoop, that's not the screen I want. That's the one I want. As we can see it, Ninjas in Pyjamas now go 2-0, and so do Virtus Pro. So a very quick evening for WCA tonight. But it means VP will go up against NIP in 2 days' time. Tomorrow night's game, we start with Vega versus the Alliance, and then the big game of the night, Na'Vi going up against Team Secret. Big as far as brands go, but a lot to prove for Team Secret to see if their new roster is capable of doing a lot, or if the boys just been sitting there streaming. We'll have to find out over time. For now, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show, and make sure you tune in to all the other Joined live streams which are going on right now. You can find ESL 1 New York qualifiers tomorrow. I'll be doing that one. The D2CL is live right now. The defense is also live. Mon Capitalis and Dirk are over there casting that one. And then there will be our World Championships American qualifier on tonight. So go check that one out. I believe we have Complexity going up against Cloud9. If you're wondering what all these games are and where you can find them, live stream links and all the information is over on joindota.com. So head to that place right there. And, well, I'll look forward to your company next time. But thanks for watching. Remember, you can follow the WCA website right here. It is the place to go. You can follow all the information there, or you can check out JD. But WCA website, as well as the whole competition. They do so many different games. And, of course, Join Dota is being asked. And we said, you know what, why not? to do the coverage for the European division. So I hope you enjoyed the show. And we'll see you back here tomorrow.